Hello, my friends, and welcome back to our blind Let's Play. It's the Turning Investigations to Miles Edgeworth, the Prosecutor's Path. My name is FlightlessBird. This is your story-based gaming channel, and today, on the Grand Turnabout, we pick up with revelations abound from the last episode. And I don't want to waste any time. It's April 6th, 4:51 p.m. outside Grand Tower temporary film lot. Let's do this, my friends. Hope we all having a wonderful, fantastic day today. John! So that guy was my dad. He found out about his own birth so suddenly. And furthermore, his newfound father is no longer in this world. I'd always been searching for my dad. John. I get it, alright? This is a present. I know it's a complicated situation. But, we even met face to face during the filming. So then, why? Huh? Why did he tell me who he really was? I'm sorry, John. But Mom, you don't need to apologize. No matter how you look at it, it's all my fault. Okay, there's one thing I like here, and there's one thing I don't like. One thing I like, he's still calling her mom. Even though he knows she's not his mom. That is beautiful, because family isn't limited by blood. Even though they're still family, technically. Like what, she's his aunt, right? Because his mom is her sister. But still, you know, he still thinks of her as his mom. That's beautiful. Second thing though is, the thing I don't like, he blames himself. And man, that's gotta be hard on a kid. You know, you gotta be wondering, why, Dad? Why didn't you ever want to be a part of my life? And this is an experience in a world that I can't speak to. I just know it's gotta be really hard. Having an adopted sister, I know the pain of being adopted. And some people are like, oh, you're adopted, you should be happy that someone took you in. No, that doesn't take away from the fact that someone cast you out. And that's a pain that just can't vanish instantly. And it may not ever vanish. So, I feel for this kid so badly because I don't know from personal experience, but from what I know of my sister, I just can see how tough this can be. I love you, sis. Yesterday, I broke my promise with you and didn't even notice the fire on the roof. So I destroyed everything. I crushed it all. My dad, and those flowers that my mom carefully grew. John. Please, for now, just don't think about anything. Just stay like this for a little while. How awesome is Courtney? Good Lord, she's amazing right now. Just for a little while, okay? The bond between a parent and child. That's the meaning behind Lion Lilies. I know it's not my style, but that flower is from Zhangfa. However, we have no means of protecting that bond. Agent Lang, allow me to say this. The case won't be solved by sentimentality alone. Therefore, shouldn't we do all that we can to solve it? Yeah, you're right. The recreation of the past has finished. Were your father's deductions correct? My old man took his deductions to the grave. He never told anyone about them. So, who knows if they were right or not? In that case, what about your own deductions? I would like to hear what you think happened based on the recreation, in order for us to get closer to the truth of 12 years ago. Yeah, I was thinking it's about time. I can see it now. My old man's back, real close. I'll catch up to him, for sure. to the truth that my old man uncovered. Are we doing this? We're really doing this? Okay, we're really doing this. Truth of the SS5 incident. There's no mistake that the president went to the orphanage. The stuffed toy is proof of that. He was planning to meet with Amy Marsh. However, the president was kidnapped and Cameron just happened to witness it. If Cameron hadn't been there, it probably would have just been a kidnapping with no murder. Afterwards, the body was moved to the flower beds and a fake photo was taken. Was that really what happened 12 years ago? Okay, that updated. However, there's one thing I still don't get. I don't get why that updated. The president's Zhangfa Dijon Wong was kidnapped on February 10th, 12 years ago. The kidnappers demanded a ransom of $100 million. Dialong Lang confirmed that on the evening of the incident, the president was at the Zhangfa embassy until midnight. The president had an appointment at midnight in the courtyard of the orphanage to meet Amy Marsh. Jack Cameron was a witness. His body seems to have been moved, and a fake photo was taken to serve as evidence. Something you don't get. It's this. Why did they need take a fake photo? Why would they go through all that trouble and even make the president take part in the photo? Unless the president was working with them? That's true. However, the answer to that riddle must lie somewhere within. Once we get past the layers upon layers of deductions, we shall surely reach it. Yeah, that's right. I'd like to hear your deductions as well. To the SS5 incident. There's no mistake that the president went to the orphanage. Agent Lang, I'd like to verify a few things that may have seemed obvious at first glance. Are we certain that the president actually went to the orphanage? Okay, I get it. You're saying you want proof? Everyone's always demanding proof from Mr. Edgeworth, after all. You didn't have to tell him that. The stuffed toy is proof of that. He was planning to meet with Amy Marsh. You mean this stuffed animal? The one with the recording device? That's right. Inside the toy was a recording from John's birth mother, Amy Marsh. Indeed. She said that she would meet with him at midnight. Wow, you two are perfectly in sync. The truth is becoming clear, like you're peeling out the layers of a scallion. Kay, a scallion doesn't have anything on the inside. Please don't make such foreboding analogies. All the dots. The truth is becoming clear, like you're peeling out the skin of a wolf. Can you stop making those foreboding analogies? Ahem, let's get back on track. However, the president was kidnapped and Cameron just happened to witness it. I'd also like to verify the details of this point as much as possible. Mr. Cameron witnessed the president and his kidnapper near the orphanage. And Mr. Cameron was standing by the snowman near the road. What if Cameron was already dead? And then they took the photo with his camera and then put his camera back. I mean, they moved his body after all. Then the murderer picked up a brick, stuck up behind him, and wham! Eek! Okay, we are simply verifying what actually transpired. There's no need to be scared. That was so intense. Half the details of the case just vanished from my brain. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Lang, let's carefully verify all the facts of this case. Yeesh. Well, if you're gonna listen, I'll talk as much as you want. If Cameron hadn't been there, it probably would have just been a kidnapping with no murder. If he hadn't been there, you say? Well, that's an interesting theory. Do you care to explain in more detail? It's simple. Cameron was killed because he saw the kidnapping. The kidnapping itself was a success. If he hadn't been there, no blood would have been spilled. No blood would have been spilled. You make it sound like it was his own fault for being there. Okay, that's not it. What Agent Lang's trying to say is, simply besides Mr. Cameron, there were no other casualties at the crime scene. Oh, was that all? Of course, that's obvious. The president was kidnapped, but once the ransom money was paid, he was returned safe and sound? That sounds like an obvious point. However, something about it bothers me. I may need to reevaluate the evidence once more. You don't explain things to your assistant. I still have one last thing to confirm. Afterwards, the body was moved to the flower beds and a fake photo was taken. That's also an important point. I'd like to take another good clean look at the information. Yeah, I'm with you there. Let's start with what Cameron saw before he was murdered. Cameron witnessed the president and the kidnapper in front of the orphanage. However, the culprit wanted to conceal the connection between the incident and the orphanage. That's right. That's why Cameron's original role in the film was disposed of. And a fake photo was taken of them as standing outside the grounds of the orphanage. Yes, and Cameron's body was then moved to match the photo. Grrr. It's finally becoming clear. The secret that was buried in the snow for 12 years. Is this the truth of the SS5 incident? Mr. Edgeworth, what's the matter? There is still something hidden behind this case. Huh? What do you mean? There is a piece of evidence that cannot be explained by Agent Lang's theory. As long as there is a contradiction, we'll have to present it in order to advance our reasoning. Okay, so obviously, this fourth thing here is the thing we had to press on. And the reason for that is because Gumshoe, Edgeworth clearly says there's something wrong with this statement. My guess is that Cameron was murdered before the kidnapping. Wait, what was that? Oh, hold on. I just saw something. The kidnapping itself was a success. If he hadn't been there, no blood would have been spilled. But there was blood spilled. Not just that there was blood spilled, but wasn't there, a mysterious blood stain? This belonged to someone other than Cameron. Which means something else happened here that we don't know about. There we go. If I can press the right button, then we'll make progress. If the eyewitness, Cameron, had not been there, no murder would have taken place. Is that really the case? The criminal's goal was only to kidnap the president. If there were no witnesses, there would be no need to commit murder, right? And what if Cameron wasn't the only one who was murdered? Okay, I probably should have thought about this. I really should have thought about this. So, Yes, it's possible Cameron could have been murdered before, but the mysterious bloodstain indicates that someone else may have also been murdered. And Cameron was the decoy, so that way no one else would notice there was a second murder. What if my crazy theory is correct? What if President Wong died 12 years ago, and then he was replaced by a body double? I threw that out there as like a crazy thought, but I mean, it might be a true thing. There was a large bloodstain near the flower beds. However, Cameron was murdered near the snowman, ergo, the bloodstain could not have belonged to Cameron. Someone else's blood was spilled, and quite a vast amount at that, and that's why the fire happened, to like hide the blood, right? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor! Do you have any idea what you're saying? The correct thing? I do. It's hard to believe, however, that is what the evidence indicates. On that night, 12 years ago, there were 2 murders. Are you saying that the other murder was covered up? Just who the heck could have been killed? A murder that was cleverly concealed. All traces of it were erased, and the incident itself was completely deleted from the case files. However, there's one piece of evidence that still remains intact after 12 years. There's one piece of evidence that still's... the thing that we just got. The funny picture. Drawn by the child who started the fire 12 years ago. Yes. Yes, I'm pretty certain this is what it's talking about. The other murder incident was buried in the dark by Blaze the Best. However, there is still one piece of evidence that remains, and I remember saying, if you look, this guy's got a knife, right? Again, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse cursor, but this guy in the black here with the weird Cyclopes eyeball and Picasso face, he's got like this dog here. And then, this guy's got Mozilla. Is this? Oh my God. Oh my God. I just realized who this is. The dog. The one eye. He's blind. A dog. This is Siran Dogen. Dogen was here. Dogen murdered the president. Or someone acting like the president. Or someone who could be the president. I don't know who this person is yet. But I'm pretty sure this is some form of a president. So Saran murdered him. And then they killed the other guy to hide the fact that he died. Thus, setting up a puppet state. I'm still convincing myself that the president actually did die 12 years ago. This is not, the guy we know to be the president is not the president. Because here's the lilies from Zhang Fa, right? I don't know what's up with the rabbit. Don't ask what's up with the rabbit. But, and the time is off, or it seems to be off. But that's clearly a dog. That's clearly Sarando again, and that's clearly the president with the tiger lily and the Mozilla. Oh my goodness. How did I not see this before? However, there's still one piece of evidence that remains. Agent Lang, it survived by your father's hands. My old man, you say? Please recall. There was one more thing that was hidden along with the traces of the murder. And that is the existence of the boy who caused the fire. Why did Blaze make the boy disappear? It's because he saw something that he wasn't supposed to see. What was the thing I wasn't supposed to see? Everything is drawn in this picture. The drawing. The drawing my old man had. The person drawn on the right is most likely the president. The Mozilla doll is also drawn near him. And the person standing opposite him is Saran Dogen. A man with a knife and a large black dog. He is none other than Saran Dogen. And yes, I'm probably sure it's Dogen or Dog-N because he has a dog. I just like saying Dogen. What? The assassin? Why would an assassin appear before a president? The answer is clear. Indeed, what occurred that night at the orphanage grounds 12 years ago was not a kidnapping. It was a presidential assassination. Then Miss Roland and Mr. Blaze were? Yes, the two were likely partners in crime. One furnished the orphanage to use as the scene of the incident, and the other covered up the young boy's testimony. It's likely that Miss Cameron was murdered because he witnessed the assassination itself. After all, the kidnapping never actually happened. Stop messing around! You're saying that the president was assassinated 12 years ago. We just found his body today. He's been alive up until now. That's right. I mean, we met him ourselves. If the president was assassinated 12 years ago and the president's body was found today, that would imply that there were two presidents. Yeah, and that can't be right. Are you sure about that? There is a possibility that there were two presidents. That's right. Up until now, I've been getting a strange feeling from the president. Even so, I still respect the man. Zhangfa is a small country, but he carried the nation with his strength. The image of President Wang that Agent Lang described. Ew, you are wrong, And that's exactly what I thought too. He revealed his true form. Differs far too greatly from the President Wang that we knew. It's as if there were two entirely different people. If there were, in fact, two Zhangfa presidents. Exactly how would such a scenario be possible? Well, they mentioned body doubles. What would make the existence of two presidents possible? They had a twin, obviously. No, it's a body double. If we were to assume that one of them was a body double, wouldn't it be possible then? See, I think I picked up on that because nothing is said in these games that doesn't have some sort of clue to them. Body double. President Wang possessed immense power and authority in Zhangfa. I'm sure there were those who envied his position and made attempts on his life. Yes, just as he was attacked a few days ago at Gore Lake. It's true, there were those who saw in Wang's life from time to time. But I can't easily believe that there were two presidents. At least, not without any evidence. Do I have evidence that proves there were two presidents? No? Do I? No? No? Maybe? It says here that the president was at Zangfa Embassy until midnight. Well, the president had an appointment at midnight in the courtyard. So wouldn't that mean that he would have to have left before midnight? If he was at the embassy, he could not have also been in the orphanage. I mean, I don't have anything else really to go on. I'm wondering if one of the kids could have been the kid who took the picture. I'm wondering if that kid could be one of these kids. But then again, they would have to be... They're probably older, right? I don't get what's the point of this. Like, I don't see anything else different in that. Yeah, I don't know of any other evidence that could possibly talk. This got revenge for 12 years ago. Was Kay the child? Nah. She'll be at an orphanage. Alright, so only thing I can see is this. And if this is it... Oh, thank God. Oh, I was about to say, if that's not it, I wouldn't know what to do. Has Agent Lang not noticed this contradiction? Or has he noticed it, but can't admit it? What is it, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't shout something out, only to suddenly clam up. Because, again, I was talking about this picture too, right? It clearly says it's 12 o'clock here. So if the child is correct about the time, then you couldn't have been in two places at once. What is it, Miss Prosecutor? Don't shout something out, only to suddenly climb up. According to the recording on the doll, the president visited the orphanage at midnight. Excuse me. However, that should not have been possible. Huh? Why is that? Why? Because at the time, the president should have been at the embassy. He was together with Agent Lang's father. So, Agent Lang, you really did notice. He was in two places at the same time. Ergo, there must have been two presidents. So which one was the one that was killed though? Was that a body double or was that the actual president? I don't know what's going on! Then, which of the two was the real president on that day 12 years ago? That's what I just said! Most likely the one who died. Okay, that's some brilliant deduction skills there, Edgeworth. Like, I give you a round of applause for that one. That one is just so perfect. You are amazing. Doesn't help at all. Who contacted Dogen to murder Wang? In order to learn that first, we must have a look at the evidence that we proved was false earlier. And the piece of evidence we know to be false is the photo, right? The photo taken with Cameron's camera was taken after he was murdered. By the way, saying Cameron's camera is kind of hard to say. And he was murdered because he witnessed the presidential assassination. In other words, the photo must have been taken following the assassination. Given that, who is the president pictured in the fake photo? We must consider him to be the body double. So, the president didn't die, his double died. In other words, the body double had the real president murdered and then took his place. Okay, never mind. Patricia Rowland and Blaze must have cooperated with that plan. Look at this picture, that is scary. Hold it! Wong's body was never found. Just where could it have disappeared to? The answer to that is already quite apparent. Then why they kill the president who's not the president, who's the body double guy? This is where the real president's body was. Oh, I don't know this. Oh, something he dug up. The thing they were digging up. Oh, the garden. How do I show this? Last night, there was something Blaze had unearthed with his own two hands. That item was not the ransom. It was something far more important. Ah, so Blaze unburied the real president's body. The possibility is quite high. What you say? The bones from the body buried 12 years ago would have still remained. According to Mr. Powers, construction was to begin soon at this lot. That was the deadline, both for the movie and retrieval of the body. Because they would have found the body when they started the construction. Agent Lang, let us search the footprints that Blaze dug up. Yeah. If the body was buried there, there'd be traces of it. Hey, somebody call forensics. This is really intense all of a sudden. I had the results of the search. We found traces in the dirt that suggest a body was buried here. So it was Wong after all. We also recovered the skeletal remains that Blaze the Best dug up. They were in his home. In addition to the bone structure, the dental records and the bone fractures all match up. We can confirm that was indeed President Wong. So, yeah, the real president. I think I'm done. Like, I think I should just drop the controller, hit the save button, and never ever play again. Because I'm never going to have a moment like I just had in this game. I mean, I'm never going to hit a home run like that ever again. And you guys who have been following Ace Attorney since the beginning know I am never right on my crazy theories. And this one actually turned out to be true. Oh man, that feels good. All right, let's keep playing so I can get humbled because it's going to happen pretty quick, I'm sure. It's like case one in the next game. I'm gonna get stumped on every single thing and I'm gonna be like, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh. So the real President Wong was indeed killed 12 years ago. The SS5 incident was a murder. Monsters footprint data updated in Organizer. Concrete is broken and the ground beneath them is exposed. Dug by Blaze to retrieve the body. So the SS5 incident was actually a murder incident? But there's so much information, it's way too confusing. Indeed, let us take this opportunity to review the details of the case. First, the real president came to the orphanage, right? 12 years ago. The true President Huang visited the orphanage in order to meet his son. By the way, does this look like a face? Like, you have the mouth here, you have the eyes, the nose, and you even have like an ear over here. No ear here, and you have like a puffy face here. I'm seeing this giant like face. The footsteps in the snow that we thought belonged to Mr. Cameron were most likely made by the president at that time. President Huang was supposed to meet his son here. However, the one that actually showed up was the assassin, Saran Dogen. He came here to meet his son, but was murdered instead? How horrible! A man like Dogen shows no mercy. And after that, the second tragedy occurred. You mean Mr. Cameron's murder? Indeed. Mr. Cameron saw the decisive moment. After the real president was killed by Dogen, his body was carried to the rear courtyard by the team of kidnappers. Mr. Cameron must have witnessed that moment from that orphanage entrance. Although he himself believed that he had actually witnessed a kidnapping. Furthermore, by this time, the body double who had come to meet up with Blaze and Miss Rowland was already standing behind Mr. Cameron. And then the witness to the incident, Mr. Cameron, was killed by the body double. So, was Mr. Cameron's corpse also carried by the body double? Yes, that does seem likely. But there wasn't anything at the crime scene that looked like the body double's footprints. Ah, good point. I've already figured out how he accomplished that. There's a piece of evidence that would have made it possible. Piece of evidence that would have made it possible. What did the body double use to move a body without leaving any footprints? The fire? No. The other shoe? These didn't belong to Cameron. Cobra likely placed shoes on the victim's feet after he died. Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything else that it could be besides the shoes. This is almost certainly how the body double carried Mr. Cameron's corpse. After Mr. Cameron was killed, the president's body double carried him into the middle of the garden. I suspect the body double was wearing the same shoes as the real president at the time. If he made sure to step precisely on top of the footprints left by the real president. Oh, that's genius! I wasn't even thinking that. That is genius. Since shoes were the same, they only leave one set of footprints. There would only be one set of footprints left behind in the snow. Exactly. I think I got a pretty good grasp on the SS5 incident now. But there's still one thing I don't get. There's quite a few things I don't get, but go on, Kay. What's that? Why do they need to stage the abduction? Because Mr. Cameron witnessed the incident. He saw the president at the orphanage. He left behind witness testimony on Miss Crane's answering machine. Even Blaze couldn't make that disappear. Ergo, the body double needed a reason for the president to have been at the orphanage. And that's why they prepared the fake kidnapping charade? The people in the fake photo are the body double, and most likely Patricia Rowland. The person in the coat is Miss Rowland? What makes you say that? The two would have to leave the orphanage in order to take the picture. just like when he moved the body, the double used the real president's footprints. Ah, so the second set of footprints must belong to the person in the coat. Indeed. We originally believed that those footprints belonged to Cameron's killer. They were size 7 footprints, too small for Blaze's feet. Thus, we presume that the person playing the part of the kidnapper was Patricia Rowland. Hidden in the shadow of the presidential kidnapping was a presidential assassination. I see. So that's why my old man. Why he what? The old man must have realized that murder had taken place. After all, he had the kid's drawing. However, that picture was never presented as evidence. Your father likely took it from the one young witness during the investigation and hid it. He had to have it known that Hwang was dead. But what if he had revealed that back then? Revealed the death of the president, the backbone of Zhangfa, and would have caused chaos. And that's why my old man took the secret to his grave. He even took the blame for the kidnapping, knowing that would be the fall of the House of Lang. So, this is the truth that Agent Lang's father hid 12 years ago. And now it's all become clear? 12 years ago, the president was kidnapped and a witness was killed. Is that really the case? I wonder. Who the heck is that? Is that Francisco? Huh? What? Who's there? Or is it? Oh, the game just like froze at the worst possible second. I could cut this out, but I'm not going to. That was a bell. That bell, it's Saran. He's here? Wait, he's here? Saran Dogen. You know, I just noticed too. By the way, this is really, really crafty, you guys. This is the SS5 incident files, right? What do S's look like? They look like number 5s. Look at his uniform. He's boss, or B-055. Aww. I'm saying, aw, what am I doing? That guy's a horrible killer. You, why are you here? How did you get here? How can you just brazenly show up here? Who do you think you are, pal? I found the conversation most intriguing, and I just will. Are you feeling nostalgic about an old murder of yours? God, I gotta stop getting the hiccups while I'm recording. You're the one who killed Wong. Nostalgia? I think not. You were speaking about the person I am searching for. You're searching for someone? I escaped from prison in order to meet with the young Acolyte. The one who wore the red raincoat. Wait, the red raincoat? I thought he was the one wearing the red raincoat. Who the heck was wearing the red raincoat then? Who the heck is wearing the red raincoat? It's not Killer. Definitely not him. Knightley's dead. He's in front of us. She's dead. He's dead. He's in jail. She didn't do it. It's not him. Could be her. I did peg Nicole Swift a while ago. Could be her. It's not Sebastian. It's not Francisca. It's not Simon or Regina. I just feel that would be wrong. It's not Raymond. It's definitely not Dijuan. Definitely not anyone on this list. Although it could be Penny. I don't think so. I mean, that would be quite a twist. An old character from a previous game ending up being the mastermind in another game. That would be brilliant and would shock the heck out of me. I just feel it's not. It's not John. Probably not Lotta. She's too much of an airhead. And yes, you can tell I said that. I'm going to guess it's Nicole. Because I said that before, didn't I? to actually be right twice in one the world may end, my friends. I don't know what'll happen with this. Who's this person? I suspect the same person as the mastermind you're searching for. Someone you've been searching for. The one in the red hood. The red hood? Don't they seem surprised, Anubis? Yes, they are, my boy. 12 years ago, this young acolyte saved my life. Okay, 12 years ago, this young acolyte saved my life. That means it's probably not Nicole because she would be like 8 years old. Who's old enough to... I mean, she's 20. Should be 12. She would be 14. She'd be 5. She'd be 12. I mean, Patricia would make sense, but they're already... I don't think Patricia would also be the one with the red hood, would it? It's possible. Dogen's savior. This took a turn that I wasn't expecting? Certainly, it was I who killed President Wong. However, my life was also targeted on that day. The body double, Blaze, and Patricia all sought to seal my lips. Had I not been reunited with the young acolyte back then, I would have been in danger. But alas, even to this day, I do not know what has become of the young acolyte. So your client was indeed the body double who was the main perpetrator of the crime. It was a long time ago, but I remember his words even now. There have been countless attempts on my life. Not just once or twice, countless. And yet, why must I be the one only to face the danger? When I stand before the people, I garner the same respect as the president does. Tell me, just what is the difference between him and me? The difference was great. While the voice and style of speech may be the same, one can mimic the body, the heart cannot be reproduced. I suppose his own weakness caused him in his quest to become a leader. Now that Rook's gone, I'm in charge. I'm not sure if you're as capable as Rook was. What are you saying? I'm totally a leader now. Perhaps the king and his knights were not so different after all. The double believed that the president's only weakness was a woman called Amy. To find the woman, he needed two assistants of someone from this country. So he joined forces with Blaze. After determining her whereabouts, he simply waited for the right opportunity. That chance came with the meeting at the orphanage. Indeed, the director of the orphanage was bribed and brought in as an accomplice. He must be referring to Patricia Roland. Well, given what I told you, do you realize the whereabouts of the young acolyte now? You mean the boy who saved you? How do you know that he is the mastermind? Well, that day, the young one caused a fire at the garden of the orphanage. Ah, you're talking about the kid who started the fire as a prank? A prank? Not at all. On that night, 12 years ago, the young acolyte was hiding inside the igloo. It seems he witnessed Patricia and Blaze moving the body from his hiding place. Apparently, he heard them talking during that time. It would seem that they were planning to kill me because I knew the truth. He immediately came to the main hall to tell me that. I learned this about the young acolyte some time later. It seems he was wearing a red raincoat at the time. He led me out to the main hall. And then, the young Acolyte said he was going to get rid of our footprints. So he scattered some light oil near the igloo over the snow. Oh, the fire wasn't to disguise the body, it was to disguise the footprints. Oh. Then he boldly set the oil ablaze. Ah, no way. So he set the fire in order to... All the focus was diverted toward the burning flames. I took the opportunity to escape through the rear exit. So, the boy in the red raincoat is a mastermind behind this case? Exactly. Isn't that right, Anubis? Yes, boy. Yes, it is. Who the heck is a boy in the red raincoat? I don't even have any guesses. Well, I don't even have any guesses. I mean, John Marsh is the only one. Well, he would be 1 year old. So the person would have to have been like 5, right? Right? Or 7? 5 or 7. So they would have to have been. What would they be now? They would have to be 17 to 21 years old. I mean, I guess it could be 9. I'm assuming too much, though. I'm assuming a boy in an orphanage would have to be someone who's 5 years old. But I'm sure there's boys in orphanages that are 13, 14, 15, right? So that doesn't really help me. And what if the boy changed by looking... Is she not a... She? Is this all a disguise? I mean, she would have to be... She would have been 8 years old. That's quite a stretch, FlightlessBird. I mean, who else could be? It could be Rook. Right? Like old Acolyte versus a Dick Killer. I don't know. I don't even have a guess. Certainly, it was I who killed President Huang. You admitted that rather easily. These days, I have long grown tired of killing. But in those Holocaust days, I devote myself to the path of an executioner. If one cannot admit that much, so what can he admit? Right, Anubis? Yes, yes, my boy. I feel like he's saying something scary, but it's kind of hard to understand him. This fallen priest is saying he has no feelings about the president's death. Dogen, the assassin and escaped prisoner, he should be a despicable opponent, but silencing him now would be imprudent. I must keep my composure and let him talk. I understand your point. You killed the president. That is correct. The aim of my blade never misses its mark. However, my life was also targeted on that day. Your life was targeted. You, the assassin. The hunter becomes a hunted. The Buddhist becomes a Buddha. What if the killer was the obvious person, Shelley the killer? His age is unknown. And he targeted the president once before. It's kind of weird. Targeted the president once before. Kay, you don't have to make up strange proverbs. Life is transient, especially for an assassin whose life is always exposed to danger. So, does that mean people you've tried to kill have fought back? That is a rare occurrence. However, this was different. The body double, Blaze, and Patricia all sought to steal my lids. Saran Dogen, you are a master assassin. As such, couldn't you not have not evaded an attack from those 3 and fled the scene? You greatly overestimate me. Without Anubis by my side, I would not ever be able to walk about. If those three were to attack me all at once, I would not stand a chance. I see. So even an assassin will fall to superior numbers in a frontal assault. Well, I gotta remember he's blind too, right? I suppose one could say that I, Sir Dogen, would have suffered a shameful defeat. Had I not been reunited with the young Acolyte back then, I would have been in danger. Reunited? So, when did you first meet with him? Well, that would be 18 years ago, on the 24th of December. That's a very interesting date. '24th of December, 2000. It's a very interesting date. It is a very interesting date. That is a rather long time ago. On that day, our roles were reversed. I saved the young one's life. There was an unusual snowstorm on that day. The temperature was well below freezing. I took Anubis for a walk in the snow. That's when Anubis noticed something and started running. I followed after him and found a car. I had great difficulty opening the door. It had frozen shut. In the backseat, there were two young children, shivering from the cold. One of Gustavia's children and Dover's children. Two children. Had they remained in the car for an hour longer, they surely would have been frozen to death. I brought the two of them to a nearby orphanage. Is there anything about Dogen's story that concerns me? Yes there is, but let me come back to this. I don't think there's anything in particular that stands out. Dogen, please continue your testimony. I want to get to this final, point here. But alas, to this day, I do not know what has become of the young Acolyte. And now you're searching for the boy from all those years ago. Surely you're not saying you want to thank him for saving you. Well, who knows? However, the young one did save my life. That is the truth. Even Anubis took a liking to him. He would do tricks to him, such as shake or roll over. I thought that the tricks Dogen taught his dog were a little bit different from the norm, though. You are right about that. For Anubis, roll over means first biting the victim's foot. Stop, stop, stop! I don't want to hear anymore. There is no need to worry. I only showed the young one ordinary tricks. I get the feeling that Dogen, in his own way, felt indebted to the boy. Mr. Dogen and the Acolyte seem to share a complicated relationship, huh? Perhaps there's a hint to the mastermind's motive hidden somewhere in his testimony. Dogen is one of the few people who knows the mastermind firsthand. Let's try to draw as much information as possible from him. It's this one, right? Yep, it's this one. So I imagine that we had to present the case file. What concerns me is the date. The 24th of December, 18 years ago. Are you sure about that? There is no mistake. Could that mean? Hey, Ray, it's been a while. I know the significance behind that date. What shows the significance? Okay, so that's going to be this. That day, a certain incident occurred. A sculptor was murdered. During that incident, two young boys went missing. The sons of the victim, Isaac Dover, and the culprit, Dame Gustavia. We never did find out where those two boys went after the case 18 years ago. Oh, they were the sons of a victim and a culprit. It makes all sense now. What makes sense? One of the youths was bound, so that he could not move. Mr. Dover did it so that Mr. Gustavia's son couldn't come to the contest venue. Indeed, Gustavo was using his own son as a taste tester. To think that was what transpired. Neither child seemed to recall what had happened. They lost their memories. The Acolyte told me this when they were united 12 years ago. The pair were placed in an extreme situation, on the verge of freezing to death. That trauma led them both to suffer from amnesia. Neither could so much as remember his own name. So they didn't even know that they were the sons of Mr. Dover and Mr. Gustavia? Indeed. While we cannot say it conclusively, the probability is quite high. I like this. I like this a lot. Something from a previous case that was not front and center but was mentioned. So you knew that there was something with the kids. Was put off until, 2 cases later. And then brought back to the front. I love that storytelling. However, we still don't have enough information to deduce the mastermind's identity. Dogen, would you please continue your story? Very well. Dogen and the Acolyte. Although I'm gonna go ahead and stop here today, my friends. I love you all so very much. Thank you for everything. This has been a wild ride today, I will say. This has been amazing. I hope you all have a wonderful, fantastic day. And until next time, so long and take care. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you'd like to see next. I always love to hear your thoughts. But before we go, please remember that you matter, and you are brilliant, and you are loved, and you should always be true to yourself. Never let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly, feathered, flightless bird.